I had a hankering to record videos again. I've been playing BG Delirium a lot recently, and I actually really enjoy the deck. It kind of reminds me of the decks that I really used to enjoy playing when I first started playing Magic, which was these really grindy graveyard value decks. And Black-Green Lane's a pretty good fit for that. Didn't really bring it on the deck, but it's a pretty stock Black-Green Delirium list, so if you just go on Goldfish or something, you should be able to find it. I would like to play first. This hand seems fairly mediocre. Like, the Traverse is going to be safe for late game because you don't really need to get another land. Evolving Wilds helps with the Delirium count, but we've only got a Murder and a Tireless Tracker. Isn't really much pressure. That said, I'm not sure if this is one we can throw away in the dark, so I guess we keep it and see how it's going. I think we start with... What do we start with for lands? Maybe Evolving Wilds. Quagmire can come in later. Because we might draw like a Grimflare or something. Let's go Evolving Wilds. Get the Delirium count ticking up. Red-green land. So this could be any number of things. Opponent mulligan to 5. Then scry to the bottom. Gonna get a swamp. Emrakul's not the best draw there. I guess it means we've got different Traverse targets now. Let's play the Quagmire now, because it's not doing anything. Next turn we can play potentially a Murder to hold up if this is like red-green aggro. Another nothing there. Play the Blooming Marsh. I'm going to hold off on the Tracker. I think there's probably value in waiting and playing the Tracker and then a land, so we at least get a clue. And we can kill whatever this is. Okay, that's a Pummeler, so let's clear this out of the way now, before there's any shenanigans with Blossoming Defense. So this is red-green Pummeler. In theory, should be a pretty decent matchup, but we'll see. Let's play the Tracker, play a Swamp. So that gives us a clue. Next turn we can play the Grimflare. Servant of the Conduit. Another land. Let's draw a card first. In case we can draw like a Liliana or something. Another Grimflare. Let's get another clue. Let's attack for the Tracker. If there's a Pump Spell in response, then the Tracker will go to the graveyard and get close to Delirium for Traverse. But let's just play the Grimflare instead. If we have a creature die, we can Traverse maybe, get the flare a bit bigger. Bristling Hydra. That's a little more scary with 9 mana. That can become 5, 6, 7, Uncaged Fury makes it 8, 16 double strike. Can't really attack for it right now. Can't really get a Grimflare hit in either, so let's draw a card. Grapple. Grapple could be interesting. Let's play a land. So we're currently a fair bit off Emrakul. So we've got options. We can attack and force our opponent to either take the damage or take a bunch from Hydra. Like sink a bunch of energy into it to make it 6. Because they have to pay 3. I actually like that attack. Or do I? Because we can always just stick Hissing Quagmire in front of Bristling Hydra. Pretty sure there's no way... I mean, there's Built to Smash. That could be the one thing that could get us Built to Smash and Uncaged Fury. So if it's Built to Smash into Uncaged Fury, that is... So there's 9 energy at the very least. If it's Uncaged Fury, this could in theory go up to 8 for 16. Built Smash gives it 19. Feel like we're okay. So I'm going to attack with Tireless Cracker. And if they block with the Hydra, they'll sink everything into it. And the Invenit can still just trade off. And that gives us the option of playing another Grimflare or Grapple with the Past. And nothing. In that case, I think I'm going to play another Grimflare. No, I'm not. Because I need to leave the Hissing Quagmire up. So we've got the option of blocking with Quagmire. And if there's no attack, we can just grapple with the Past. Okay, well, let's try. Let's see. Just lets the Hydra die, so I'm fairly happy with that. Could be another Hydra as the follow-up. So this one can get 4 counters on it at the moment. So it can get to 7 toughness. Tracker can get through that still. Vessel of Nascency is an interesting one. But let's keep playing the shell game. Because eventually our opponent's going to have to block this Tireless Cracker. So at the moment we can make it trade with the Hydra, or our opponent can take a bunch. Let's play out another Grimflare. I'm going to try... Well, there's no point sacking a clue because we've already got a clue from playing land. Only having 2 green sources is a bit of a problem at the moment. I guess we could traverse for another green source next turn. But we'll keep up Grapple for the Past. I think it's fairly unlikely that we end up in a situation where we don't hit off it. So I'm going to grapple now. Get Pilgrim's Eye, Forest. Pilgrim's Eye turns on Delirium, Hissing Quagmire doesn't. Could be a useful blocker. So we could double block with Grimflare here. Again, Uncaged Fury and Built to Smash, plus the energy. There could actually be 2 Built to Smashes, in theory, which would be plus 6 power, so it would be 10. Uncaged Fury would make it 11 power. Then you can put all the counters on it, which is at the moment is 4, so it would be 15, it'll deal 30 damage, we can soak up only 8 of it. I think we've got a double block anyway, and just make them have it. We've got fairly decent pressure, and I think we're casting Emrakul next turn. So there's one counter. Two counters. There's also upside Delirium counter 6. Possibly should have got an untapped land for the Emrakul actually. Opponent's thinking. That's another one. There's a Built to Smash. So it lives. We take nothing. If we find a way to remove this Servant of the Conduit, our opponent's in a bit of trouble. Harness Lightning on Tireless Crack would be a bit of a problem. Let's just draw a card now. We're going to Emrakul next turn, so we can get some shenanigans out of that. Ishkanar's not bad. Actually, we're fairly short of Emrakul mana, actually. I think we play our Hissing Quagmire. I think we play out Ishkanar. And I think I'm going to traverse now. And traverse for a Noctis Gearhulk. Reason for that is, obviously, like, it's not going to kill the Bristling Hydra because of the hexproof. But what it can do is stop them from attacking purely by taking out, like, the Servant of the Conduit. Okay, larger than life. Uncaged Fury is annoying here. Uncaged Fury would be 22. I think if we just stick all the spies in front, we're actually okay. The other thing as well, like at the moment, there's no energy to actually give the Hydra hexproof, so Noctis Gearhulk might actually get to kill the Hydra. And if we do, we gain a fairly substantial amount of life. Blossoming Defense will be the one thing that gets around that. But they're playing something with white mana in it. A Pummeler. So the Hydra can be given hexproof, but we now have a Quagmire up. 5 card types to the graveyard, 7 mana, go short. If we Vessel and sacrifice it, that can only get us a max of 2, might have enough. Okay. And the Quagmire can do some blocking duties at least. So the Hydra can be given hexproof. I think Vesseling is part of what we do here. So I guess close to that Emrakul next turn. Okay, Liliana's pretty good. If we had more mana. Does actually add a bit of a dimension to it though. So let's see if the Pummeler gets saved. It doesn't. So if we survive this turn... I mean, actually, we'll know a lot by what our opponent does here if they attack us or if they attack Liliana. But we're in a bit of a dangerous spot. I think the key is to just try and keep using up the energy so we can try and land that blow with the Gearhulk. Although we do have Emrakul next turn, so it can be a case where we could just waste all the pump spells. Or just run the Hydra into Emrakul. Feels like if we get to untap, we're in a very good spot. Harness Lightning. Well, they've got to spend 5. So if the last card is Uncaged Fury, we still don't die because they have to tap the conduit and we'd be down to 14? No, we'd actually die exactly to it. Yep, okay. Let's just check they're attacking me. Yes, they are. Okay, that didn't go to plan. Turns out blocking that Quagmire was not the right thing to do. To the Slaughter seems pretty decent here. Deadweight seems pretty good too. Flaying Tendrils could be good. Kind of can get rid of things like Voltaic Brawler, the Pummeler, and whatnot. Pick the Brain can be pretty decent. Because, I mean, maybe Pick the Brain Transgressors come in, they're slow, but I think the problem cards for us are really the ones like Bristling Hydra. Liliana seems decent. Pilgrim's Eye seems a little slow. Tireless Cracker might not. Well, Tireless Cracker can kind of get to that size where it can do some work. Vessels might be too slow. Mind Rack feels like you can actually do some decent blocking, same with Ishkana, same with Noxious Gearhulk. Emrakul seems pretty great because you can just block stuff with it on the extra turn, but also just if we ever get to control a turn, it's pretty horrible for them. I guess Grimflare on the play seems okay. Tireless Cracker, maybe Tireless Cracker comes out on the play. For Transgress. Maybe a couple grapples come out. Still learning this deck. Still not sure on the sideboard plans. I feel like on the draw, maybe the Grimflares come out because they're going to struggle to attack through. We'll see. This hand seems okay. It feels like off the Vessel or the Grapple we're going to find a swamp or two. Deadweight's just great at dealing with things like Pummeler, because unless it gets like the Blossoming defense, like they can pump it all they want, it just dies to state-based actions. Noxious Gearhulk seems strong. Aether Hub. Tune with the Aether. More attuning with Aether. I'm going to Vessel for now. Evolving Wilds. It's pretty ideal. We're at Delirium, so drawing a Pick the Brain soon could be pretty handy. Let's play the Evolving Wilds, and we can grapple. Yeah, let's play Evolving Wilds, we can grapple and maybe get back something, probably Mind Rack Demon. Is this Pummeler? That's Lafnu Hellion. This does put the pressure on us a bit. Also puts pressure on their energy. I think we just, if we can, untap and Grasp of Darkness it while they're tapped out. That's not happening. Could Deadweight it to slow things down. Let's Transgress first and see what's going on in that hand. Okay, Build to Smash. Galvanic Bombardment, Harness Lightning, Mountain. So the Lafnu Hellion's kind of all they've got in the tank at the moment. Can make it a 7 next turn, so I think we're going to take seriously anything we can take, but it's good to get out. I think we play a Forest rather than the second Black Source and grapple. Ultra smashing now. I guess it makes sense. Because, you know, because there's the knowledge that it can't be removed this turn. But at the moment, our opponent's hand, if it remains just Galvanic and Harness Lightning, is pretty decent for us. No black mana off that, but Grimflayer can hold the fort down as a 4/4. Especially now. Now I actually feel incentivized to deadweight Lafnu Hellion. Ooh, Traverse. The temptation is to traverse for a swamp and then Grasp of Darkness, but if they've drawn some sort of pump spell, that won't work. So I think we might still traverse for a land. I think the first thing we do is deadweight Lafnu Hellion and see what happens. Okay, so it's a 2/2 now. I think traversing for a land here isn't the worst, because it allows us to play the Grimflayer, it allows us to play Grasp of Darkness next turn. It also allows us to, with an untapped land, not just Gearhulk, anything else that comes out. Yep, there's the Harness. So we're only getting hit for 2 at the moment, down to 1 energy, so if they don't have another way of producing energy, then the Lafnu Hellion's going to die. If they draw Bristling Hydra, that could be really quite annoying. Long Tusk Cub, less annoying. Okay, Lafnu Hellion's gone, so Mindrack Demon. Seems a bit risky if it gets removed, so I'm just going to try and grasp this now, because if we can just keep creatures off the board, it stops the chance of just getting surprise killed. Obviously Lafnu Hellion can still do that, but hopefully Mindrack will start stabilising that. We know one of the things I've got in hand is Galvanic Bombardment, which at the moment does not kill a Mindrack Demon. Let's see what Mindrack Demon mills as well. Grimflayer, Swamp Liliana. We have 6 lands, 6 cards in the graveyard. We could we're a little bit off Emrakul. Not feeling any need to traverse for anything now. And I think we're not going to be attacking with Mindrack Demon just to play around Lafnu Hellion. Ooh, to the Slaughter, that's a nice draw. Now I feel okay attacking with Mindrack Demon. Got every card type except Artifact in there at the moment. I'm feeling happy with this. I think the idea is to try and traverse for Emrakul to just slam the door. Voltaic Brawler. Question is, do you like to the Slaughter now, or do you try and knock your Gearhulk it away? I try and knock your Gearhulk it away. I'm going to do that before attacks, because if there's a blossoming defense in our future, then I want to keep maximum power and toughness back, but that just draws a concession. So I think Grimflayer's come out on the draw, because I think they're going to be too slow. Could be wrong. Could definitely be wrong. Flaying Tendrils. I think maybe Kalita's thing comes in. Pilgrim's Eye to get ahead. On Flaying Tendrils. Like the idea is to control the board. I mean, Ob Nixilis is not a bad one. Kind of gets through everything but Blossoming Defense and Bristling Hydra. Also kind of wonder if we want more grapples. I'm very creature light at this point. We're kind of relying on riding one of them to victory. Although in theory if you land the Emrakul you should be fine. Um, no, actually, I think if I want to draw him, I want Grimflares just to shore up the board. Like maybe on the draw, Grapple's too slow. Maybe Flaying Tendrils is too slow. Possible we don't need 4 Lilianas as well. And it does kind of... It's very handy against Pummeler, but it's pretty useless against like Bristling Hydra and Electrostatic Pummeler and Longtusk Cub. So maybe less Lilies on the draw, maybe more Tireless Trackers, or Pick the Brain. Pick the Brain seems pretty slow on the draw as well actually. Maybe it's like Tireless Trackers. And 1 Grapple to make sure we're not stumbling on land. Also a bit behind on the clock. This hand has 3 tap lands, but it also feels fairly decent. The Murder should just kill something. Kalitas feels like it could be quite swingy in this one. Again, I feel like the strength of like having some of the... they went Smulg to 6 Scry top. I think the power of having some of those high toughness creatures like Ishkanar and Kalitas and Myrak Demon is that to really get rid of them, they have to harness lightning, which uses up a lot of their energy. And the more energy they're using removing stuff, the less they are pumping it up. Longtusk Cub. I think I'm going to play Igrim Flare out into that. At the moment it can't attack through. I would just take the block. It requires them to have like an Overhub or harness lightning it away, or maybe a Tomb of the Ether would work. At the same time, ooh, nothing off the game trail. Okay, so they're harness lightninging. So Longtusk Cub can become a 3/3. Looks like we're going to be just grappling. And they're debasing the pump. So no. Yeah, I guess 2 counters. So. And the flare doesn't trade anymore. It's possible we run it out as a... I think we're just gonna grapple. Because Grimflare they can just attack through. Grapple can help us find a 4th untapped land. In which case we can play Kalitas. Or maybe, if we draw the right thing, like Grimflare plus X. I mean, this Longtusk Cub is getting a bit out of range, possibly. It's getting out of Grasp of Darkness range. It's not getting out of Murder range, but Blossoming Defense would put a spoiler to that party. 4th land. Bristling Hydra would be very annoying here, and so it is. I think we want the 4th untapped land at this point. So that's a Hexproof Hydra. That's threatening lethal next turn on its own. So there's an argument for murdering now on like Longtusk Cub. So there's no Blossoming Defense. Because I think the scenario where we just die is opponent sticks a bunch of counters on Longtusk Cub and Hydra. Blossoming Defense means we don't kill anything. The other question is you could start blocking with Hissing Quagmires. Maybe that is a better plan. Actually, I mean, is that we play a swamp. We can block something with a Quagmire, probably Bristling Hydra. That gets us a land in the graveyard. Next turn we can play a tapped Quagmire and murder something, preferably the Long Tusk Cub, but if the Quagmire gets removed, we're kind of screwed. I think we just murder Long Tusk Cub. This can get 2 counters at the moment. There's a chance Bristling Hydra can just kill us. I think we just murder Long Tusk Cub now and try the block with the Quagmire next time. It's one of the downsides to keeping a slower hand like that. Let's see if we live. Tapped Cinderglade. Lafnu Hullion. Yeah, that's not ideal. A Belt to Smash puts us under some real pressure. I think Belt to Smash actually kills us with the Hydra energy encountered as well. Yeah, I think Belt to Smash exactly does kill us. Well, okay, so no pump in hand. Paying enough to keep the Lafnu Hellion alive and the Hydra. It's 2 lethal threats, so that's the problem. I think we have to hope for no removal here. And hope we can double block like so. Any removal, and we're kind of stuck. And then again, these are 2 chump blocks as well. Not a pretty situation to be in. Harness Lightning will kill us. Maybe we shouldn't have kept the hand, maybe it was too slow. The first one, I think maybe that block with the Hissing Quagmire early on was maybe a bit risky. Kind of stopped us getting to Emrakul earlier. And that's the problem with that Pommel deck, is like sometimes you just get blasted by the combo. You can be at 15 life and it's just like, you're actually close to dead in life. Wait for another game. It's interesting as well to know what to play around, because some decks have moved away from like the Uncaged Fury combo and they go for like more aggro, like more late game like Verdius Gearhulk and Arlencord. That one did not. This hand seems pretty good. We've got the option of turn 2 Flare, turn 2 Liliana, so keep this one. I think we'll probably lead with the Hissing Quagmire, because we could maybe use the Evolving Wilds later, or to offer Tracker, but at the same time Evolving Wilds gets us closest to Delirium. Attune with the Ether, more energy shenanigans. Don't think it particularly matters what land we get here. I think we'll probably get green though, so we've got access to it earlier than access to double green earlier than using the Hissing Quagmire. Ether Hub. Well, unclear as of yet whether we're against red-green Pummeler or something along the lines of Aetherworks Marvel. If it's Marvel, this isn't great because we don't have much pressure on them. The plan next turn is hopefully Liliana off the Blooming Marsh, shrink the Conduit and connect with the Grimflare. That nixes that plan. Opponent up to 6 energy. not doing anything with it this turn. Nothing Bloom Marsh is not ideal. Pause there for sneezing. Okay. So much more likely against Red Green Bummer now with that Blossoming Defense. Indicates that maybe we're going to get Pump Spell here to kill Liliana. I guess it's close to Delirium. It also means a fair bit of the pump has been used up just killing Lily. I was not hoping for the 4th Blooming Marsh, won't lie. There's no point traversing extra down Delirium. Next turn, I guess we try and set up something. I mean, we can't even like hope to block with a Quagmire for Delirium at the moment. My opponent's got a fairly scary amount of energy. Okay, Grasp of Darkness is fairly decent draw. So I'm going to Grasp now, so I can traverse. No Blossoming Defense there. So next turn we can play an untapped land and a Noxious Gearhulk. Waiting for Emrakul seems ambitious at the moment. But yeah, there's no Blossoming Defense there where you'd expect there to be one. So Noxious Gearhulk should at least kill certain the conduit. I would have expected a Bristling Hydra last turn if they had one. Opponent, what are they doing? Thinking about something. No play. So let's play the untapped land. It's possible they're protecting something from Noxious Gearhulk, but I'd rather just land it. Keep the board clear. Got a Grasp of Darkness to potentially deal with other threats. I mean, Bristling Hydra would be an annoying one, but we can always use Noxious Gearhulk to block there, or Hissing Quagmire. Okay, so there's a Pummeler. And there's a Long Tusk Cub. Play the Blooming Marsh now. Let's play Kalatas now. So Electrocyte Pummeler can go to 2, 7 energy, 4 energy goes to 4, goes to 8, but needs 2 pump. I think because this needs 2 pumps to do it now, I'm just going to Grasp of Darkness this on my turn, because it makes it harder for him to get through both of these now, and wastes 2 pumps this turn. And yeah, so that's pretty good for us. Pummeler down, we get a Kalita zombie out of that. Possibly could have attacked there to force the issue a bit, but I'd rather just play maximum safety here. This Long Tub Cub can still get fairly big. That's a 6 mana. So 6, 10, that's 11 counters. Like, it's one of those times where, like, again, Uncaged Fury makes this a... with the counters... 11, 12, 24 damage. So 24, we can mitigate 10 of it, taking 14. And if it's Uncaged Fury, we're done for either way. I think we have to... Well, if it's Uncaged Fury, we need to block with everything and get the Kalitas lifelink. I mean, this does leave us boardless. But I think it's better than taking a risk and just losing to Fury. And if it's just pumping with everything, then it's annoying. Which it is. But now we've got Hissing Quagmire on our side at least. I mean that sucks, but I feel like just the risk of losing to Uncaged Fury or just like built to smash, it's not worth it. Opponent does not attack into Hissing Quagmire. Ooh, Traverse. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. You can cast Emrakul. Emrakul is on the stack. Opponent concedes. So, Emrakul did win that one, but I wonder if Emrakul can also be too slow. I'm just gonna try different things. I still like Deadweights. I'm gonna try Flaying Tendrils. To the Slaughter I still like. Still don't like Tireless Crackers. Ruinous Path is like slow, but just kills something that's got on big, like a massive Long Tusk Cub. Grapples just seem useful for recycling creatures and getting lands when you need it, so I'm gonna try without Vessel. And the Pilgrim's Eyes, and see how we do with 2 Pick the Brain, 1 Transgress. This is basically just learning. I also suppose in Natural State and Appetite for the Unnatural are very good against Electrostatic Pummeler. I think they're possibilities, but it feels like Pummeler obviously is a threat, but it's not as much of a threat as like Bristling Hydras. This hand seems okay. Possibly too slow. But again, I can see us getting many worse 6s. Nothing turn 1. Ooh, Deadweight's not a bad draw. A for Hub. Long Tusk Cub. That I will Deadweight. Play a Swamp out because we've got a lot of double black. Next turn we can Grimflare, or we can Pick the Brain. That could take out something really annoying like a Bristling Hydra well in advance. Lafnu Hellion. Okay. So unless we draw removal for this, I think we Pick the Brain and try and take out a really difficult threat. Then next turn we can play Mind Rack. I think it's fairly likely it's not going to get us for 4. See what opponents do, what we're dealing with. Okay, so built to smash, Harness Lightning, Blossoming Defense. So if our opponent goes smash, Blossoming Defense, we take, that's an extra 8 power, we take 12. Because, so the thing for me here is that Lafnu Hellion is dead if Harness Lightning, if they don't find energy. And we can potentially cut them off the energy by taking Harness Lightning, because they can always target their own Lafnu Hellion and just be like, oh, I'll gain the energy and not do anything. It is possible we die to another pump. Well, we can't die to another pump spell unless it's Uncaged Fury. No, because even Uncaged Fury doesn't do it, because I'd have to draw another mana source. I think this is the highest upside because if they don't find a way to gain energy, the Last New Hellion dies, and then they just got a bunch of pump spells and nothing to do with them. So I'm going to take Harness Lightning and see if our opponent finds a way to keep it alive. Well, nothing yet. It'd be interesting to see if they dump a bunch of pump spells into the Hellion now. They do not. Oh no, they do. There's one built to smash. Just one built to smash. But no energy production. Okay. Let's play out Grim Flare. I think Mindrack Demon obviously puts the most power on the board. But the main thing to worry about here is Last New Hellion, which will pump through it anyway. Grimflare has a chance to connect and set up our draws, and Grapple can get us to Delirium so we can play the Mindrack Demon fairly safely next time. Opponent played a land. Let's return a Swamp. Build a Pick the Brain and a Blooming Marsh, so that's not the worst things to have got rid of. Okay, let's attack with Grimflare first. The Grapple's also put us up to Delirium now. And let's see what Grimflare reveals. Opponent has paused. Wonder if this means there's a Harness Lightning for it. Well, not yet, at least. Okay. I don't think we want Forest. I don't think we want Blooming Marsh. I will take a Traverse, because we can Traverse for Ishtanar, or something of that ilk. Now we have Delirium. Now I will play Mindrack Demon, because now we can kind of put the pressure on them. 4 cards, what do we get rid of? Deadweight, Grimflare, Grasp, and yep. One thing I keep forgetting to do with this deck, you scry something to the top of Grimflare, and then you Mindrack Demon into the graveyard, like a dingus. Which is what I did. That was very stupid. Balls. Just going to attack with Grimflare. Again, just want Lafney protection. This way we can grapple the past and block with a Mindrack and a thing. Grapple. These all seem fair. I don't think I actually want another grapple. I've got 5 card types in hand, we'll have 7. We can find a way to get an artifact or a planeswalker into the graveyard with Grimflare next turn. We can traverse for Emrakul. So I think top. I actually don't want neither Grimflare, so let's put that on top. Now, things I must remember. Do not grapple with the past at the end of the turn, hence getting rid of the Traverse. Okay, so let's hit with Grimflare only again. Let's try and get the 6th type in the graveyard, possibly both, and then just kind of set up Emrakul at some point. Forest, Grasp for Darkness, another Traverse. I think we don't want the Forest. Don't want the Grasp, because now I am just going to Traverse for something. Again, putting that Traverse on top means nothing. Game is hard. So let's Traverse for an Ishtanar, because that just puts the most power and toughness out that we can just use for blocking. Very possible I could have been doing a lot of things better than this. In fact, I'm certain that I should have been. Opponent needs to kill us this turn. We've got a fair chunk of toughness to put up, and it needs to be something hasty. Largely on life, our Mindrack Demon. Largely on life, our Mindrack Demon. This is the look what I had in hand. Okay, 1-2-0. We'll cut for the video for the other 2 games next time and see if we play against anything that isn't Red Green Pummeler.